Joining us now is Oren Segal. He is the Senior Vice President of Counter-Extremism and Intelligence for the Anti-Defamation League. Oren, thanks so much for joining us. What was going through your mind as you learned about this attack?
What was going through my mind is, here we go again. I mean, it was just, less than 2 weeks after, two young people are shot to death in front of a Jewish museum in D.C. We have documented 9 terrorist plots and attacks targeting the Jewish community or Jewish institutions in just the last 12 months. And in comparison, the previous 54 months, there were only 7 such incidents. So clearly we are seeing a spike in this activity, and it's important to understand why this is happening now and what predated it that has made this atmosphere so ripe for those that want to attack the Jewish community.
You wrote something on X that I want to share with our viewers. You wrote, quote, "Rhetoric blaming all Jews for Israeli policies is not only anti-Semitic, but can animate violence against the community." I was hoping you could expand on that for us, because I think it's clear that what's fueling much of this is the war in Gaza.
Yeah, so listen, if people want to have policy debates about what the Israeli government is doing and the military is doing and be very critical of that, I mean, that's one thing. That is not necessarily anti-Semitism. What we're concerned about, what we have been warning about and documenting is, for example, there have been 600 days where people around the country have been removing posters of hostages, including, young children when they were hostages, right? Denying Jewish suffering, denying Israeli suffering. And now what we have seen just yesterday is that people who were there to express concern over the current hostages were literally burned alive, right? This is the rhetoric that glorifies terrorism that we are seeing at rallies around the country, that is normalizing the type of conflation between Jews and Israelis. And that's why tragedies like we have seen in Boulder, in DC, and beforehand are likely to happen when that environment and that atmosphere, which enables that type of rhetoric to go unchecked and unchallenged, is normalized.
I wonder what your message is to officials around the country about how to handle this, not only on considering making potential targets stronger, but also on specifically what you're describing, the rhetoric.
Listen, the Jewish community is among the most hardened targets in this country, right? This is not our first go around with being the target of threats, whether it's bulletproof glass or metal detectors. That's the norm for many institutions around the country. And we do need law enforcement to be supported and provided with funding in order to help protect Jewish institutions, especially in an environment like this. But at the end of the day, this is not about arresting the issue away. This is about winning hearts and minds. This is about basic understanding that the more that you dehumanize human beings for who they are, the more likely it is that people will want to act upon that. This is true across the ideological spectrum. This is true not only this year, but for the past 5 years and frankly, 50 years. The more that people are enabling others to demonize, dehumanize, and treat others as worthy of being attacked because of who they are, the more it will happen. So the allies, the government officials, and leaders across the country need to say, this is not okay. And not just after these attacks happen, but throughout the year when these types of narratives get normalized.
Oren Segal, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.